Why not Re out of game number 1? Okay, there's the in-game overlay. You can see the scoreboard 0-0, and we're ready to go. All right, guys, here we go. This is game number 1. AOC Champions League here, Masters of Mega Random. This is a rather Mega Random Castle Age start. We are going to see Vinch v Fire. Every point counts. We're going to see a set of 4 games here today. Game number 1 is Mega Random. You can see that the Mega Random generation is going to be similar to Migration, I do believe. We're going to see 2 early islands, and we're going to see a main island here in the middle. Let's see. We're going to see Vinch playing in that beautiful purple color. For simplicity, yeah, we'll leave Vinch in purple. That's what he wants to play as. Purple-pink, I suppose. Okay, so both players having a little bit of berries on their island, a couple of small patches of deer, patch and a half. Actually, 2 patch and a half, so about 3 patches worth of deer, 12 deer total. Just enough wood to get you off the island, and just a tiny amount of gold. You can see that Vinch's island here is pretty ugly. The golden stone is very, very close to the outer banks here. Berries are actually rather close to the outer banks as well. So we will see him maybe get pressured if his opponent goes galleys early. It's a Saracens v Saracens matchup. Let's see, Fire is going to have 2 stone patches right on the edge. This gold patch, though, for Fire is going to be relatively nice for him. Momano was talking in the pregame with me, by the way. Hi, I'm Killer B, in case you're watching on YouTube. Momano was telling me in the pregame, since Fire is so good on water, that he would expect Vinch to re out of a Mega Random game. You have until 4 minutes and 1 second to re, and I don't think we're going to see it. Looks like the host number is still ticking up. So it looks like Vinch might be willing to play this one out. This is essentially a map where good water micro will be very, very useful, and we would expect Fire to maybe have a bit of an advantage there, but Vinch is ready to play this one out. And for the time being, we just work our way through this early Castle Age start. Vinch right now starting to bank a little bit of wood, maybe thinking about another TC at some point in the not-so-distant future. He's going to go out for a lumber camp right now. This is going to be a TC drop, isn't it, on this corner? What's the plan? Yes, indeed. So Vinch will drop a TC very early, saving up his wood. I think that's a really nice idea to try to get his villager count up. On the other side, we've seen Fire take a quite different approach. Fire dropping a lumber camp early and building out as if it was a bit very similar to a Dark Age start here, just pushing in deer, building up a dock and getting himself going. So we'll see Vinch be able to pull out a bit of a villager advantage here in the early game, but we're going to see Fire maybe with a more standard build. He's going to get his dock out first, while Vinch is going to go for a TC at the first of this one. Okay, good. Saracens v Saracens matchup here. Mega Random start. We are at 5 minutes now, so the restart is no longer coming in. We're going to see this game played out, and one of these players is going to get a point. Every point matters in this series to basically advance to the next round. Okay, so at the moment, we are just seeing Fire still pushing deer, building up a very, very normal Dark Age type build, and getting fishing ships out as we speak. It is Castle Age, so you could try to put a little bit of offense on the water early on if you wanted to, but for now it's going to be a couple fishing ships, or a fishing ship here for Fire. On the other side of the map, we see Vinch just now starting to build up a dock. He's going to have 2 TCs cranking out. Just a 1 villager advantage for Vinch right now, but we expect that number, at least I expect that number, to continue to tick up. You know, he's really strapped for food right now, so it will take him a little bit of time, I suppose, to get himself started in this game. 2 villager advantage now for Vinch. Okay, very nice. Usually these games are incredibly fast in the beginning. This one is going to be a little bit of a slow build-up. Players are going to take a little time to get off of their own island, I would suppose. Vinch will start with a fishing ship as well. We are going to see a transport very, very early from Fire. He's going to have his scout on that ship, and it looks like it might be headed for... Is it going to go to the main island here and do a little scouting? Yeah, it looks like he might. Fire is going to drop his scout off there on the main central island and get a little bit of map reveal. All right. Here we go. Doing this one live on Voobly Official. Good to be here on Voobly. Chilling out today. More fishing ships coming for Fire as we speak. Vinch adding and fishing as well. Vinch still totally strapped for food, but keeping both of his TCs busy at least for now. Still pushing in deer and doing a pretty nice job to clean up most of those deer pretty early on. Sending a couple Vills over to the mill. Just needs to make sure that he keeps his food eco going well enough to keep his 2 TCs busy. 27 villagers for Vinch, so 4 Vill advantage, a 1 fish advantage for Fire. Fire's going to have a quite nice score here pretty soon. He's scouting around that central island, giving him a pretty huge score lead. Fire's his second TC will be dropped right on the corner of that island. So not the most gold or stone-rich island in the world. Fire actually scouting around a little bit, basically finding nothing but wood. He found a little bit of stone on the far side of the map, so he's just going to drop his initial TC rather close to his base on top of a hill. He's out of range of water, and he's going to start building up his economy on the central island. Vinch will send 5 Vills over as well. From Vinch's point of view, we can see he needs a little bit more wood in the bank before he adds in a potential 3rd TC. But nonetheless, Vinch will be over on that central island. He's actually going to drop a pretty early monastery. Maybe he'll grab that relic that he's right next to, and maybe he'll harass his opponent a little bit. I think that's the only relic I see. Mega Random, you can get a ton of relics. You can get, in this case, I think you're just getting 1 relic. Could be blind, but I just see 1 relic on the minimap. Okay, Vinch grabbing deer. He's added in a mill, and he's taken shorefish as well, just trying to keep his food eco going here early in the game. 35 villagers for the pink player, the purple player, whatever you want to call it. Vinch building forward houses on that central island, still doesn't have the wood to drop another TC. I don't think he would have the food to keep that going either. Looks like Vinch will get the first poke in. Fire's going to go have a couple of downhill hits, and it looks like Fire will have a slight advantage in that fight. Vinch will lure the scout over, though, and he's going to get quite a few shots in with his Vills. So for now, Fire's scout will be on the retreat. Okay, Vinch will get enough wood and drop a TC on that central island. Back on Fire's side, we can see that he's pretty hardcore onto wood right now, adding in a lot of fishing ships. He has a fairly balanced eco, enough food to keep both of those TCs going, and he's added in a 3rd TC on his own island as well. So both players will soon be on 3 TCs. Looks like Fire gets his 3rd TC up before Vinch, but Vinch will have a slight villager advantage here in the early game. All right, what do we have? We got a fire ship added in from Fire. There you go, using his namesake here to put a little bit of pressure on. Vinch trying to convert the scout of Fire. For now, that is not going to happen. But look at this, fishing ships and transport ships under a lot of duress from Vinch. Vinch is going to respond with nothing. No fire ship coming out of Vinch's dock as we speak. So Vinch is running across the map. He's going to lose his initial fishing eco, and Fire will be able to basically control the water in the early game here with just 1 fire ship. Okay, so Fire's got 3 TCs up. He's got a fire ship out. He's killing his opponent's fishing, and he's got a 4 fishing ship advantage now. That is really nice for him. Vinch gets a fire ship out. No, this is another one in here from Fire. Fire with double fire ships on the front. Vinch is going to build 1 and try to start to push back on the water, but he will certainly be 2v1 for some time. Just 1 dock on that corner for Vinch, hiding a transport ship on the other side. But it's a 1 dock build right now for the purple player who's grabbed a relic. His eco at the moment is 51 Vills, 0 fish. Fish got totally cleaned up. Okay, Fire's going to continue to roam around the map here and get a good idea about what's going on. He's scouted most of the central island. He's also hot on the heels here of this transport ship. He'll be chasing that around the map for some time, and maybe eventually he'll kill it. But for now, just in hot pursuit. Very nice scouting, though, for Fire. Vinch knows a little bit less. He knows a lot less about the central island, and he has not sent any ships forward to get an idea about what Fire is working with on his own island. So for now, we will see Vinch trying to defend against a couple fire ships, building up his eco. Monks are out. No, 1 monk is out. Siege Workshop coming down right now. Where's Vinch's monk? Monk, I need a monk. I don't know where Vinch's monk is, but he had a monk out here a moment ago grabbing relics. Okay, it's going to be a forward Siege Workshop Monastery. We've got that monk roaming forward. We have 1 scout here in defense for Vinch. His scout's a little tougher than Fire's, so that's going to be good for him. Fire's sending villagers across, maybe to build a TC somewhere closer to this gold. He's going to find that Vinch is very close by. In the meantime, fire ships on the water are now 2-2. Vinch has added in a couple fire ships, going to start pushing back on Fire. Fire's focusing on a Vill, and that's going to put his fire ships well behind the HP of Vinch's. Just a little bit of HP off of these ships means that they can't really stand toe-to-toe with Vinch anymore. Just 2 fire ships able to benefit from that, those ships focusing on villagers. Monks in play. Are we going to see a villager converted? Yes, 1 vill converted on that side. Scout's still trying to get in some hits. Yeah, Vinch actually able to kill one of Fire's vills here. So a bit of a chaotic early game. Here comes the blue scout. He's going to run in and not kill a monk. The monks are going to survive. They are cross-healing one another, trying to stay up. Villager comes in and gets a kill. Fire's going to lose 3 villagers there and his scout, but he will get a monk out of the deal. Okay, very, very interesting early start here. I think that was a pretty good fight for Vinch. He's going to be up by 8 vills. He's coming forward with monasteries. He's going to have a stable. Siege Workshop is up. Mangonel is out. And the purple player is ready to continue to push. Fire has decided to go down to the bottom of the map here. Take this gold near to the coastline on his side. Fire ship fight. Ooh. Looks like we are going to see 3 fire ships surviving at the moment for Fire. And Vinch will have none in that part of the map. Vinch is going to have just the 1 fire ship, just the 1 fire ship up here in the top corner. So Vinch is not doing too well on water, but he's making a pretty intense land push. He really wants to control this central island. This is one of those types of pushes that if it fails, he might be in a little bit of hot water. He's certainly going to have a lot of trouble keeping up with Fire on the water. Fire roaming around with 3 fire ships and a transport right now, kind of seeing if he can find a little bit more of an area to put some damage down on. We're going to see Vinch adding in a castle here very soon. Looks like he mined out the stone on his initial island. Those 2 piles of stone, able to give him enough stone here to drop a castle. That castle is going to be in a very offensive position, and it's going to cut Fire's area in half. Fire's got 1 TC on one side of this hill with the castle and all the military buildings of Vinch, and he's got 1 TC on the other side, effectively cutting his base in half on the central island. Vinch's push here is going to get even more aggressive. He's going to delete the initial castle foundation. He'll drop another one very, very close to Fire. Fire here is going to have a couple of camels ready in defense. There's enough monks here to probably deter these camels. Let's see. Scout will run in. The initial light cav rather will run in. We'll see a couple more light cav, couple of camels. Monks getting under some pressure. Blue player able to snipe one of the monks, but the mangonels survive, and the villagers continue to build. And that castle is going to go up by the looks of it. A couple monks now in play from Fire, trying to slow this down if he can, but it is pretty much all for nothing. The castle there is going to go up. Fire sending in more and more light cav to put pressure on the monks. He can also try to snipe down these mangonels rather quickly, but he will soon have a castle right on his front porch, so a nice castle drop from Vinch. Vinch will drop a castle onto Fire, and he will start to try to put some pressure on this TC. Fire will have to build a castle in this valley. It's a nice location because it protects 2 resource piles, but it's going to leave his TC a little exposed, and of course it will be a downhill castle. Okay, pressure still coming on the front. Vinch trying to put more and more pressure on that TC. He's got double mangonels. He's got a couple converted camels. His initial mangonel on the top side is going to be under some pressure and might go down here to light cav. Fire will get that mangonel down. Couple of camels, couple of light cav roaming around. Rather chaotic start here, but the pressure is starting to build up. Vinch doing a pretty nice job to keep Fire in a defensive game here on the central island. On the other side, we see Fire stonewalling up the best that he can. Vinch still annoying and maybe converting a villager there, but for now, we will see a siege workshop on the hill. No units over here to guide that push. On the other side, we have a bit more of a serious push. Mameluke starting to come out. Vinch putting in a lot of resources right now and trying to put pressure on Fire. Fire clicks up to Imp first. It looks like Vinch can do so rather soon if he wants to. It looks like he will do so right now. Okay, so Vinch is going to be about a full minute behind on the Imperial uptime. Fire will lose a TC before he gets up to Imperial. Villager count right now is 98 for Vinch, 89 for Fire. Fire's adding in barracks to try to counter some of this cavalry that's coming from his opponent. He has stonewalled himself in here. Fire trying to keep himself safe. Vinch is going to drop outposts on the exterior of those walls and just try to hold the line a bit. Outposts coming from both players, trying to keep an eye on what's going on the island. On the water, we've got a couple fire ships now in play from Vinch. Fire's got one of his own for now. Back at home, he's still fishing rather happily. Fire's had a really nice 8-fish boom for most of this game, and it's keeping him really competitive. Vinch with more villagers, Fire with more fishing. It's not too big of a difference here in eco. Mangonel's rolling forward, couple of monks to go along with him. Castle drop will be supported soon by another siege workshop. Vinch going to start adding in some rams. Rams on the way from Vinch, and he is going to push this whole area down by the looks of it. Fire's got a relic inside of this monastery. Vinch has one as well, so I suppose there were 2 relics on the map early on. Okay, Vinch transporting over more vills. Going to continue to build up his economy on the main island. You can see there's not a whole lot left here for wood. The gold is gone, the stone is gone. Just a little bit of farming eco on this side. Going to need to transport vills for the rest of the game to continue to beef up the economy on that island. Fire's adding in pikes. He's in the Imperial Age now. Ram's taking down his stable, so it looks like for now he will abandon the idea of cavalry. Vinch is adding in archery ranges. Scouting at the moment. Fire knows a little bit about what Vinch is doing. You can certainly see that castle sitting on his front porch. Vinch, does he know anything about these barracks that are up? Looks like Vinch is able to see one of those barracks on the corner, and he can see that it's garrisoned. Fire definitely needs water control, says Metal. Yeah, that would be very nice for him, but right now it looks like Vinch is going to have 2 ships on the water. These guys are pouring all their resources into the land fight right now. I see a Treb out now for Fire. He's got quite a few pikes here to try to defend his Treb. That is probably going to be enough to defend himself with. Unfortunately for Vinch, he's losing his rams here to a 1 light cav. He's taking a fight versus pikeman with a camel. That camel would be great to take down this light cav. But for now, the pike's continuing to do some raiding, trying to pick away at those villagers and stop them from repairing. Arrow fire from the castle doing a pretty nice job to grab down a lot of these units, but I think Fire accomplished his goal there, which was basically to run in, take down those rams, and thwart his opponent's offensive. This castle is in hot water. No villagers there to repair it. That one's going to go down. Nice double treb action from Fire in the early Imperial Age. Fire's going to start rolling out some rams of his own here, and that castle, once it goes down, is going to give Fire a little bit more breathing room. Vinch still has cut Fire's economy on the main island in half. I think that could be rather consequential in the late game, but we will see. Fire able to drop a castle of his own, and that's almost within range. It should be within range of this gold pile. If he can put some heat on that gold eco of Vinch, he's going to be very happy. Vinch with 1,300 gold in the bank, but you can see villagers there a little bit dismayed by arrow fire coming in. Archery range is coming down for the blue player. He'll drop a castle on the front. Not floating a whole lot of resource is Fire. Vinch is floating a whole bunch of gold. Was floating a bunch of gold. Fire going bodkin arrow, Vinch going thumb ring. So we are going to see these guys start to transition to archers at the moment. I think we saw an arb there out for Vinch, but those went down pretty quickly to the light cav. Okay, so early game, Vinch had a lot of momentum on his side. Seems to be kind of fizzling out a little bit here. Fire has eclipsed Vinch in villager count. He's up on 113. He's able to push down Vinchester's early castle that was in a very nice position. And now that that base that's cut in half is kind of less cut in half. It's a lot more accessible for Fire to run between one area and the other on the island without that forward castle from Vinch bothering him anymore. Okay, Vinch adding in a lot of arbs here. Not a very good fight for him. Walks into some mangonel fire and some castle arrow fire, but he will back up to the hill and try to hold the line. That gold pile on the front is a very big win for Fire. Able to take away one of Vinchester's only gold sources. Vinch is heavily on stone on the far side. You can see that Vinch is on water, putting pressure on a TC with fire ships there. He might get that down. Looks like Fire was over here taking stone. Fire also has a decent gold eco on the main island. Both of those are relatively safe. This TC is still being bothered, but arrow fire coming in, slowly taking down some of these fire ships. Vinch is falling a little bit behind in this one. It feels like he's falling a little bit behind. Double transport sending vills over from Fire en masse. Vinch with a castle on the hill, putting some pressure on Fire's castle on this side. I like that a lot. He needs to win back this main gold. Stables coming up for Vinch. Going to make a bit of a transition in units, I suppose. Vinch with still a ton of stone in the bank. He can drop another castle here anytime he wants. Fire losing that castle on the bottom. That's going to be a little bit troubling for his eco here. Fire on gold for the time being, but he might not be able to be there for too long. Arbs rolling into that eco as we speak. Mangonel, though, in defense from Fire, should be able to thwart these couple of Arbs. We'll see. Arbs putting some pressure on the Mango. The Mangonel is not being repaired yet from Fire, and that's going to go down. He's going to start losing these vills too. Fire able to add in a bombard cannon, but it might not last very long. quite a few arbs there from Vinch. He takes that cannon down. He will convert a MAM, and it looks like Vinchester is going to control that corner of the island rather shortly. Trebs can roll in and take down that TC pretty quickly. One more relic to the far west. Oh, there is a relic that popped out, I believe, of the Monastery of Fire. Fire's going to start building up stables, but for now, that relic is up for grabs. Fire's still controlling a lot of the eco on the right side. Vinch is now starting to solidify his hold on the left side of the island. Fire's adding in more cannons here. They're going to be taken down pretty quickly, but maybe he can snipe a Treb before that cannon dies, I suppose. At the moment, villager counts are 135 for Fire, 110 for Vinch. Military counts are similar. Vinchester did not get the TC down here on the far side. Fire was able to defend himself. Fire's still fishing like a madman with 8 fishing ships. Shouldn't say like a madman, but he's had 8 ships for a very long time, and that's at least a pretty good advantage for him. Fire at the moment not floating very much, near to building another castle though. Vinch is ready to build another castle and might be floating a little bit of resource that he can start to use to transition his military. Vinch will go elite skirm and chemistry. Fire's going plate barding. Vinch is adding in light cav right now from those stables, and I don't know how deep he's going to go into light cav. At the moment, it is chemistry, and it is beefing up some elite skirms. The arbs are out on the field, and they've taken over what was once Fire's safe gold economy. That's a nice play from Vinch. He needs to be able to control some gold if he's going to have a good shot at winning this one in the late game. Total scores right now are in Fire's favor by quite a lot. He's got about a 600-point score lead. Villager advantage, slight military advantage. Castle's coming up, though, to continue to solidify his side of the island. This island is protected by his migratable, I don't know what the word is, but you can only really walk across this island down one main path here in the center, and Fire's going to solidify his hold on that path with more castles. Vinch is going to make a play, though. He's going to come in with light cav right now, take down some rams. His arbs are close. There's only 4 or 5 villagers. 5 villagers building that castle. It's going to come up rather slowly. Vinch takes a huge mangonel shot, though, and he loses quite a few of his arbs. This is chaotic, but it doesn't look like Fire's villagers have been bothered yet. Vinch will run in here at the last moment. Fire's going to be... Oh boy, Fire's going to finish this, isn't he? He's on... he's several... Oh man, he's got to be like 95, 96, 98%. This is going to not finish. Oh my lord, for the moment, it's not going to finish. Fire will add in more vills. 98% built castle. That will go up. Vinch will build a castle of his own at the bottom of the hill. Vinch with 1 Treb here on very low HP, but it's still alive. He drops his own castle, he being Vinch, at the bottom of the hill. Not the greatest castle location, but these guys do need to compete for this channel. It's a very important throughway on this map. Stable's coming up for the blue player now. He's going to continue to add in light cav, and he will have some trash to go with it. Couple of hand cannons mixed in, but not all that many right now. Vinch has spent his gold on arbs and monks, and right now he's fighting at a bit of a disadvantage. Fire's got this hill, and he's got a Treb up on that hill, and that's going to work out pretty well for the moment for the blue player. So Fire with a 600-point score lead at this point. He's got a 7 or 8 military advantage. He's got a villager advantage. He controls some rather good parts of the island. Vinch right now does control a couple of gold piles and a stone pile. Light Cav trying to run in to snipe those Trebs. Those will go down rather quickly, and it looks like for now we will see those guys fighting over the strait. Notably, stone on the top side for Vinch is gone. Vinch's castle goes down. He's got a couple of Trebs here in action. 3 Trebs at the bottom of the hill, trying to hit Fire from the bottom. Vinch, though, look at this. He's taking a ton of damage. He's firing arrows and javelins here into the rams, and that's not good at all. Vinch able to do a bunch of damage. I'm sorry, Fire able to do a bunch of damage while Vinch is killing rams with his ranged unit. Kind of a bummer there, but he will get the castle. Vinch knocks down Fire's castle, and this central area is again going to be hotly contested. What's going on the water right now? Not too much, just a little bit of fishing. We've got a fire ship roaming around for Fire. The main battle and most of the resources at this point are going into land. Fire's starting to get up a nice military. He's got elite skirms, rather beefy at this point in the game. He's got quite a few light cav to go with it. Siege workshops and stables coming. It looks like Fire can keep his army going for quite some time. 600 gold in the bank. Vinch, with less gold in the bank right now, is he's mined out that main gold pile that he was relying on. He sent a few vills over to mine this new gold that he won back from Fire, but for now he's just slowly trickling in with a gold eco. Light cav coming forward to snipe these rams. Vinch is going to lose these light cav eventually to all the hill advantaged, let's see, elite skirms here. For now, we will see Fire back at home with no gold, no stone on his side of the map. So Fire's got more gold in the bank, but Vinch has a bit more gold that he could potentially take in the later game. It might allow him to build some gold units and win back the center part of the island. You can see on the mini-map Fire controlling that central channel. Vinch is certainly going to need to put some pressure on Fire's eco here if he's going to be able to win this one. Fire seems to be in the driver's seat in this one. Could just be my opinion, but he's got the villagers, he's got a good-sized military, and he's got this hill. This hill has been incredibly advantageous for the blue player. Vinch continuously walking back and forth, trying to pull those Hussar from his opponent Fire a little bit closer to his arbs. Is this the mega random map? Yes, it is. Welcome to the game, guys. So yeah, game one here, mega random. The fight here is for the center. Couple trebs in play from Vinch, a treb in play from Vinch, couple from trebs in play from Fire. They are going to start rolling forward and putting a little pressure on. You can see neither player controlling a relic. I shouldn't say neither. Yeah, neither player controlling a relic at the moment. Let's just see. Yeah, both players on 0 relics now. That would be very useful to be able to grab those relics. Let's see, Treb's coming forward, starting to put some heat on this TC from Vinch, and this is getting really, really precarious for Vinchester. These Trebs are unguarded. Vinch can run in and try to take them on here. We do have still a basically elite skirmisher army versus an elite skirmisher army. They are now fighting on level ground. Looks like Fire has more units, but yeah, I think Vinch can maybe get a few Hussar over here and take these Trebs down if he wants to. Rams coming in from Fire, tanking a little bit of damage and keeping Vinchester busy. Vinch will run right into those elite skirm. He'll grab a couple Vills. At the moment, 85 stone in the bank for Vinch, 206 for Fire. Don't think we're going to see any more castles in this particular game. So those Trebs do accomplish their goal in knocking down Vinch's TC, and for now we'll see them pack up and maybe get out of town safe. I think Vinch can get him if he wants to, but for now he's focused on fighting this hill. Fire camping out on top of that hill with all those skirms is getting in a ton of damage on Vinch's Hussar. I should say as much damage as you can expect from elite skirms. Let's see, the two Trebs unpack once again, sort of out here in no man's land. Maybe they're going to take down a few of these buildings. No, they're going to start firing at the main army here of Vinchester. Fire seems to have emerged with a couple of Hussar to continue to meet shield. He's still on top of the hill. Blast Furnace coming from Vinch. He's going to continue to beef up his Hussar. At the moment, he will be out-teched by Fire by a bit. No, those are equal. My bad. So game number one here rages on. Both players trying to win the mega random map generation. They initially, it looked like Vinchester might control a large swath of the island. He had a castle drop over here for a while. Now it is pretty much a dead heat. Fire, though, clinging to this hill. And you got to think that that's getting him a ton of good bang for his buck at this point in the game. All right, let's see. Villager counts right now. 120 for Fire, just 98 for Vinch. Vinch is under a little pressure on his part of the island. Fire is on 59 military. He's starting to pull away militarily from his opponent, adding in some bombard cannons here, adding in more Hussar, still clinging to that hill with elite skirms. It's been a very nice game from Fire. He certainly identified the most important part of the map and won it over. And now Vinch is really having to take some bad fights here. He can't let Fire get closer to his eco. At least I think that's what he's probably thinking. He can't let Fire get in here and take this whole area down. But he can't really fight uphill forever. This battle is not a good location. This is not a good battle location for Vinch. Vinchester collected a relic. That's interesting to see. There must be another relic that I didn't see, but at the end, we'll see Vinch GG out of game one. Fire will get the win and go up 1-0. Very nice game played by Fire. I thought the water would be a lot more consequential, but in the end, we are going to see the water battle be rather simple, and the land battle being incredibly intense. The central island fought over pretty heavily early in the game. Fire just clung to a better hill. I don't think the unit composition was too bad for Vinch, but he fought up this hill for really the last 10 minutes of the game, and he just continued to take more damage than he dealt. GG in game number one, guys. Let's jump into game number two. Game number two. Let's go ahead and change the score real quick. We'll get ready for game two. Scores will be 1-0 for Fire here. Vinch is going to get his choice of home map in this one. Doesn't matter. We're going to play all 4 of the maps no matter what. But Vinch will at least be able to, I don't know, maybe he feels really comfortable in regaining some momentum on a different map. Game one was absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. But very, very fun. Love that Masters of Mega Random tournament. I love that map generation. And we will see game number 2 on a different map. It could be whatever Vinch wants to choose. Let me just quickly jump into the Voobly channel.
Channel switched.
And I will be joined by whom? Who's out there? Who is this?
Who is this? I don't know.
Mr. Milmano here. John T.
Oh,
Kelly. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So no, let's keep going.
Oh, just catching up with the chat here. Arbs should do much better versus Azar, says Nim. Arbs versus Elite Skirms on the Hill, says John T. Yeah, it was a tough game there for Vinch. Did you get to see any of that one, Milmano?
No, I literally just came back.
Perfect.
You finished it. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I leave just as I get dinner, and I come back just as you finish. So I've got time for one game.
Cool, man.
I'm in.
That's great. I don't know what map we're going to see here, but just a quick recap for you since you just joined us. Maybe some other people joined us a little late. I think Vinch had a very nice early game in that one. I think he did have a good chance to win, but Fire made a couple of better tactical decisions than Vinch in the mid to late game. And in the end, he's going to cling to a hill and basically clean up a ton of Vinch's units for very cheap with that hill bonus. And we see Fire take game number 1. It was a water map generation. I was talking about you and how you said maybe Vinch wants to re-out of a water map, but Vinch went with it. It was interesting.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I thought for sure he would take. I think your advice made a lot of sense. That why would you fight a player who's so good on water in Mega Random if you can and get a different map that probably won't have water? But
Yeah. I think he wouldn't want to fight a water map against him. I think it was smart. But unfortunately, just saw him win. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting what he picks his second map though. I'm so curious because he could do Arabia, but equally could be Arena. I think he might go with Arena because I think he might have some sort of, I don't say I call it a cheese strap, but a strap that I think Fire won't be so comfortable with. I think he's going to go with it.